Yeah, good morning. So in last class, that is yesterday, we have done this NMOS inverter with enhancement load, right? We already know now what is enhancement load. If we connect, what do we expect in terms of this voltage transfer characteristics of this in particular inverter, right? And we have done it in quite a detail, and we have also seen the expected VTC here, right? Here, right? This voltage transfer characteristics, right? And from here, quite a few things we have observed. First thing is that the VOH dash, that is lower than by one threshold. At the same time, this VOL dash, that is also not reaching to zero, right? And there is a transition, right? When both the transistor in the saturation, and this transition also depends on the value of this transistor parameters of this load and this driver, right? And also we have also seen that when this transistor is one transistor is off, that is fine, but when this transistor is on, right, this transistor is also on, right? At least before that, we are talking about before that region, so, right, in this region from here till here, right, both transistors are on. So if by some means, if you have some noise which is maybe one threshold voltage lower than this VDD, yeah, right, then that will make what? That will make this power dissipation, right? Even if the transistors are not supposed to conduct, but still in that situation you will face the static power dissipation issue. That is another thing, right? And there are a couple of other issues, like for example, we have already discussed this point, and this point VOL dash and this VOH dash, right? They are actually lower than that they are expected value, lower as well as the higher than, right? So, but so far what we have discussed here, even if you have noticed this, this is an NMOS, this is an enhancement mode NMOS. This is not enhance. I'm not saying enhancement mode load, but what I'm saying is the enhancement mode transistor. So I think you already know what do you mean by enhancement mode MOSFET, and what is there is another variation called the depletion mode MOSFET, right? I think you remember. If you have forgotten, maybe we can do a brief recap on that and then proceed with that. And this is also enhancement mode MOSFET, which is connected as an enhancement load, right? But we have seen the issues. So today we are going to, okay, by the way, one more thing here, we have discussed about this VTC, right? In quite some detail, right? But if I ask you from here to find the other points, for example, VOL dash, not VOL dash, VIL, VIH, right? I hope you will be also, I mean, you should be also able to find those values, right? Because if you have understood this, you know the expression in all the regions, so you should be also able to find the points, the required points, even the switching threshold of this inverter, that also you should be able to find, because you know the equation in this point. Then you have to just simply substitute V in equal to V out to find the switching threshold, right? Okay, so to solve these issues, today we are going to discuss and one more approach, that is this NMOS inverter with depletion load, right? So what is this depletion load? Depletion load is basically an depletion MOSFET connected as a load. Uh, I think some Ganesha, please accept my MS Teams request. Ganesha, I have not received any request so far from your side. If you are here, roll number 18 EC 10086. Okay, please contact me, after this class. Huh? We'll see that if you have any issue on this, because if you know the this thing, Yeah, the code, the class code, then it is, I don't have to accept you. Well, you can just join the class automatically, right? Okay. So here in this NMOS inverter with depletion load, so that this part we are going to discuss today. So what do you mean by this depletion load? Before we understand depletion load, just to have a brief recap about this depletion mode MOSFET first. Then we'll come what do you mean by this depletion load. So in depletion and mode MOSFET, basically, if you see the cross-sectional view first, then it will be easier for you to understand that how these MOSFETs are made and why they operate it in a particular behavior, which is a bit different from the conventional MOSFET one. These straight lines are always troublesome. Okay, so here, suppose we are considering one N-channel depletion mode MOSFET, then it will be like this. Here N plus, here N plus, here it is P silicon, here it is that oxide, silicon dioxide, on top of which you have this gate, right? This is gate, this is source, this is drain, right? If it is P, then this is basically, if you have this structure, then this is basically the enhancement mode or normally off MOSFET, because here to start the conduction you need to apply positive gate bias to induce the channel, right? To attract the electron, then only channel will form, the conduction will start. But think about it, if you have a already some existing channel is there. For example, suppose you have already intentionally made this region as N type. So this is also N type dope silicon. Then what will happen, even if you have applied 0 voltage, there is a channel, there is an existing channel between this source and drain, so it can conduct, right? So to stop the conduction, what you can do, you can now apply here negative voltage. So once you have applied here negative voltage, then what will happen, this negative voltage will try to repel these electrons here, and that means you will have a depletion layer here. Right? So suppose this is the depletion layer for a particular negative voltage. If you further increase this negative bias, this depletion region will expand. So what you are doing, basically, you are reducing the, this is the channel, right? Initially, this is the channel thickness. But as you are increasing this negative bias more and more, your channel thickness is reducing further and further. So that means the current through the transistor is further and further reducing. Right. So at certain point of time or at a certain negative gate voltage, this complete N region will be depleted, and then hereafter you don't have any conduction. So that particular voltage would be the threshold voltage for this type of MOSFET. So this is the depletion MOSFET. Depletion MOSFET. So I hope from this it is clear to you that the threshold voltage for this type of transistor is less than 0. That means negative threshold. Or these devices are also called this normally on devices, right? Because even if you have applied here 0 volt, right, the transistor is on, right? So if you have understood this, then let us see how in a circuit, or what is the circuit symbol for this type of depletion mode transistor. So the circuit symbol for depletion mode transistor is generally been, so this is an enhancement mode, NMOS MOSFET, this is source, this is drain, this is source, this is gate. And for depletion mode, the additional thing is that as the channel exists, to show that, we just make this region bit thicker. That means the channel is, there is an inbuilt channel, right, for this type of MOSFET. So this is the depletion mode MOSFET cross-sectional view, and this is the circuit diagram view, right? And remember that this point is important, threshold voltage, right? Okay. So
So,
if,
so
huh,
when we are applying a negative voltage to the gate, then the PN junction will be forward biased, right, between the substrate and that N silicon in between. So it should be conducting. Why is it like?
no. See, between this, you are applying negative voltage at the gate, right? But this gate is not directly connected with N silicon, right? It is in between, you have the silicon dioxide, right? isn't it? So you are actually not directly connecting negative voltage with this. You are using negative voltage to deplete it, right? Is this clear?
Yes.
Ravi?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the circuit symbol. So in this case, can you please tell me, then if I draw the ID versus VDS characteristics for this, right? Then if it is a normal MOS, means enhancement mode MOSFET, then you know the threshold voltage is positive. So obviously this will start from some positive value, right? Maybe positive 0.5, plus 1 volt, plus 1.5, plus 2 volt, plus 2.5, like this. But this is the depletion mode MOSFET, right? So for this depletion mode MOSFET, here the threshold voltage is negative, say -4. Then maybe this is -3, -2, -1, 0, and this is 1 volt, right? So this is maybe -3, this is -2, -1, this is 0, and this is give shifts a +1 volt. Okay. Then, okay, what is this? This is basically VGS. So this is also this VGS, right? Okay. Now, suppose if you connect this gate and source or short this gate and source like this, then what is happening? Then basically you are intentionally making VGS for this transistor equal to 0. So if VGS equal to 0, and that is always true as long as you have connected this. So the transistor is always on, right? This transistor is always on. So in that case, okay, among these many characteristics, we have to only consider this one, means these characteristics, isn't it? This transistor is always on if you connect it like this, and here this the plots of ID VGS output characteristics for different VGS, but for this particular connection the characteristics is fixed like this, right? Okay, so this type of load means this type of device, this device, if you connect it like this, then again you can see here this has again become a two terminal device, right? One terminal is this and the other terminal is this. Now you can replace the previously where you used to use this register or this enhancement load, right? Now you can use this there, right, on top of that, right? So if you use that we are going to see in the next page. So in that case, the characteristics of this device or the ID versus the voltage drop across these characteristics will be governed by, it should look like a similar one. So I'm trying to make similar to like this, right? Like this. So this is VGS equal to 0 for this, right? So this will be the characteristics of this device, right? And now it is a load, and this particular load is that depletion load, right? Okay. Now here let us draw then the complete inverter. So earlier we know that we have a driver NMOS transistor. We will keep the driver NMOS transistor as it is. So it is V in, and here we have a load, right? The top. This was the pull up network. Earlier we have used resistors, then we have used this enhancement load. Now we're going to use here depletion load. VDD, this is gate, and you know here gate should be connected with the source. This is that output, and this is drain source for and gate for this driver transistor. So this is the load and this is the driver, right? Okay, Now let us focus more on this, because so far we have understood this part, right, in the last page. Now let us focus on this. Okay, this is a simple N-channel enhancement mode MOSFET. So its IDVD or output characteristics will be like this. Say the threshold voltage is suppose 0.5, then maybe this is at 1 volt, 1.5, 2, then 2.5, 3, 3, 3.5, like this. It may be, right? So, but it will start from some positive VGS, right? Because it is an enhancement mode MOSFET. So this is the characteristics of this plot, right? Okay. Now, in the last page only, we have seen the voltage and current relationship for this load is like this, right? Now, how you are going to plot? You remember in last two cases we have plotted this load lines, load curves, right? For this, like for this with this transistor driver transistor characteristics, right? But then how do you superimpose this with the characteristics of this? Any idea? Any idea? How to do that? Okay. See, uh, this is just for our rough work. See here, this is VDS, right? And this is also VDS. So let us write this VDS as VDSL, right? So this is VDSL. And let us write this VDS as VDS driver, VDSD, right? Then we know this VDSD is equal to V output, right? And if you intend to plot the voltage transfer characteristics from this type of plot, then and this is the characteristics for this MOSFET, then obviously this axis is also the V out, right? Okay. Then what about this? Here, this V out you can write in terms of V out, you can write here VDD minus VDSL, right? Okay. So you see, then, okay, maybe we can write it even like this VDSL. Uh, okay, not required even for this. I think it should be fine. So you remember this, that V out equal to VDD minus VDSL. So this is this VDS. VDS means this is for the load. So it is this VDSL. Now in that expression, it was minus VDSL. So minus VDSL means what? Minus VDSL means, right? This is the plus VDSL. So you have to make the axis negative. So what will happen then? Then the characteristics of this will become, I am drawing it in a small in a this way fashion so that I can complete it here, huh? So this is VDS, it is wrong, not like this, but now we are making the axis as minus VDSL. So just make a mirror of this, right? So this is ID, right? So it will, isn't it? Then it will look like how? Look like what? It will be like this, right? We are just taking a mirror of this. Because we are making the axis as minus VDSL, right? Okay. Then see here V out is, if you have to, like, this is also V out. So in terms of V out, it is basically VDD minus VDSL, right? Okay. So this, with this, now we have to add plus VDD. So that means this has to be shifted. This point is 0. Now this has to be shifted towards this side till VDD. The whole characteristic has to be shifted VDD. So if we do that, So this is now VDD, right? Then this is entire thing has been shifted to this side by this VDD, isn't it? So this is now 0. So you understand? Then this axis is also equivalent to that V out axis. All right. And here in this plot, this is also the V out axis. So now here you can actually superimpose this on top of this. So I am using a different color so that we can identify it. So here this is the characteristics, okay, for that load. I hope you understood how we are getting this characteristics here, or drawing this characteristics here, and why it should be like this, right? Okay, great. If you have understood, right. So before we proceed, let us just go back to the previous page again and see one more important thing here, which I want to ask you. So this here VGS is equal to 0. What is this point? This point, right? This is the point in between where the transistor is going from triode region to saturation region. So obviously then here this VDS is basically, then this point is nothing but VDS sat. So which is nothing but VGS minus VTH of this transistor, right? Okay. Now you need to remember here one thing. If we consider only the value, right? If we consider only the value, then this VGS is what? This VTH for this transistor, this VTH is negative, right? So this value is negative. So that means if you make VGS equal to 0 for here, then it becomes, this is a negative value, so this is positive. So this particular point or this particular VDS value is nothing but this VTH of this load transistor. Is this clear to you? It's pretty easy, right? So why this point would be this mod of VTHL. So that way you can also say from here that this difference should be also this mod of VTHL. So then if this point is VDD, then you should be also able to find, you should know this value is nothing but VDD minus mod of VTHL. This point, because this point is you need this point, okay, to find the complete VTC. Right. Then if
Sir,
you know
in the previous slide, actually, in the depletion load, we are shorting G and S, right?
we are shorting GNS.
Yeah, so VGS will always be 0.
VGS will always be 0. So
Yeah,
that's what we have only chosen this plot. Out of so many plots, we have chosen only this plot. So which is this one?
okay, sir.
Fine. And we are considering VGS equal to 0. So this becoming equal to 0. So this point, the transition point between triode and this saturation region, is nothing but mod of VTHL.
The other plots won't be valid, right? I mean, where VGS equal to -3. Those are not valid for depletion.
No, those are not valid. But these are the plots for this device, right? For this device, you can have any VGS, isn't it? For this device, you can have any VGS. You can change this gate voltage to -3, -2, -1. No restriction for this device. But when you are connecting this gate and source, then you are fixing this VGS. Then this plot is only this. The characteristics for this configuration is this. But this is a normal PN, normal NPN, normal NMOS transistor. So here you can have any of these plots, right? Okay. Right. Now, if you think about the voltage transfer characteristics for this case, so then how to start actually, think about it. So when first, okay, now we are considering from the threshold voltage point of view. So maybe for that I need to keep this thing bit above so that I can write here. Oops. Why this is happening sometimes? Yeah. Fine. Okay. Now let us consider the case. Okay, step by step. But in some case we have to skip sub steps for the sake of time, and I believe uh, based on our previous understanding we should be able to fill those steps here. Okay, so suppose the case one is when V in is less than the threshold voltage of this driver transistor. Okay, when this V in is less than the threshold voltage of the driver transistor, then this driver is what? Off. So driver transistor is off. That means you can say the characteristics is given by this plot, this curve, right? And it is intersecting with this load curve at this point, and this is the point which indicates the value of V out, and this value of V out is here VDD. So obviously from here, from graphically you can say that here this V out will be equal to VDD, as in MOS driver is off. Fine, okay. But suppose if you are not convinced, like why should I look, if I do not want to plot this, then how I will do it? Then there is also an option. Then you go ahead with the conventional, as we do for analytically. So here, this transistor is at cutoff. So ID is equal to 0. So you write that ID is equal to 0. So this, if this ID is equal to 0 for this case, so this will be equal to, and okay, this ID is equal to 0. That is fine. So ID is equal to 0. But at that point, in which mode of operation this load transistor is, this load transistor is operating in which mode of operation? This load transistor is in this load. Oh, sorry. This PPT got again somewhat bit. Yeah. Somehow it got restarted. So that part has also been erased. Just a minute. Yeah, so can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
in
sir.
between there was some issue, and this PowerPoint has somehow been stopped in between. Huh? So just a minute. Give me a minute so that I can check it. Yeah. So but here some part has also been not been saved. So this is off, right? And so graphically, obviously you can find out V out, but if you want to do it analytically, that is also possible. Then you have to follow the conventional way that we are doing always. So here, ID is in this situation, ID is in this transistor current is 0, right? But at this moment, so this transistor, that means this load, this will be in the triode region. So write the expression of the transistor in the triode region, which is nothing but KL into this VGSL minus VTHL, right, into VDSL minus VDSL square by 2, right? And this part is equal to 0. Okay, now what is this VGSL? Right, VGS is always 0 for this load transistor. So this is 0, right? Okay, and this is VTHL. So, and VTHL, before that we have a negative sign. So we'll keep it like this. So KL equal to this. So KL is not equal to 0. So we can write only the inner part, that is equal to 0. So it is nothing but VTHL minus VTHL into VDSL plus this VDSL square by 2, that is equal to 0, right? So it's just we will take this thing as outside, then we can easily say it. See, we'll just take this VDSL outside. So here we have this minus. Are we doing correctly every sign? No, I guess, right? This was minus, right? So it should be minus, right? This was minus, right? So that way we are also taking this minus out. So it is VDSL, right? Minus. No, it will be like it as VDSL only, and this is VDS by 2, right? And this is equal to 0. So this VTHL, this value is negative. So we can, if you want, you can also write it like this VDSL into this VDS by 2, this is minus of mod of VTHL. So here we are considering only the absolute value inside, right? So just to understand that this value is positive, and we are basically substituting in from this VDS by 2, right? And this part is equal to 0. Okay, now see that if you see this region, right? So this region, no, we are now considering for this region, right? Or you say for this region, right? So in this region, right, VDS, here VDS is always less than mod of VTHL. So what I'm saying is that in this region, VDS is always less than VTHL. So it is not possible that VDS by 2 minus of this VTHL will be equal to 0, right? So then obviously VDSL has to be equal to 0. So because we know VDSL is less than VTHL in this region, so this part cannot be equal to 0. So VDSL should be equal to 0. So if you see this VDSL equal to 0, so if this VDSL equal to 0, then earlier we know from this, if you now consider this VDSL 0, then V out is equal to VDD. So that way mathematically also, beside graphically, you can also say what is the value of this V output. So now if you now think about this VTC, V output by V input, then you have got this point, right? This is VOH dash. So VOH dash is equal to VDD. So this point we have found, and this will be remaining constant up to what point, that also you know. Okay. Then what else? Next, when the transistor turns on, right? So probably you can say it is the case number 2. So if this V in is greater than the threshold voltage of this driver transistor, then the driver is on, right? Fine. But in which region? The driver will not be operating in the, see here, this intersection, it will be in the saturation region, and this load will be still in the triode region, right? So this is driver is on and it will be in saturation. What about the load? Load will be in the triode region, right? So now you know in the saturation region and triode region, right? Then just simply you write the equations. This is for this driver, so VGSD minus VTHD, that is square equal to KL into VGSL minus VTHL into VDSL minus VDSL square by 2, right? So just now if you wanted to substitute, so VGSD is basically nothing but V in, and this is VTHD, that is square. The scale VGSL is always 0, so it is minus VTHL into this VDSL. VDSL is what? You can see from here VDSL. For this load, this is nothing but VDD minus Vout, right? So we can write this as VDD minus Vout minus same thing VDD minus Vout, that square by 2, right? So here you can see this equation gives you the relation between ID and V in and V out, and obviously this relationship is not a linear relation between V in and V out. So once you have crossed this region and this condition is satisfied, the relationship between V in and V out is a nonlinear, right? And if you just try to do it little bit simplification, try to find the expression of V out from here, you will find the two values of V out. One of them will be valid, other one will not be valid, right? So, and the valid one, you will see the expression of the valid expression of V out will be actually decaying with increase in V in, and that decay will be in a non-linear in a fashion, right? So here then you will see then we are trying to extend this VTC. So after that you will have some decay when, and this is a non-linear decay in this region. So this region you will get from here. This region we have already seen case 1. This region is case 2, right? So I am not doing it here for the sake of time. Please do simplify this and try to find the correct expression for V out. Okay. Now the case 3. Okay, but before we go to case 3, we should understand here when the case 3 will happen. The case 3 will happen when when this V output will cross this value, right? Or V output will be beyond this point, means lower than this point. Then only this transistor will go into the saturation, and obviously, and from here, that is, if we say suppose this point as X, then from X till here, this point suppose X dash, from X to X dash, both transistor will be in the saturation region. Then how to find this point X? I think you can find it out, right? Find for point X. Then if you know point X, then uh, below this means below this V in, try to find the V in for which the V out will be this one, right? So if the V in is now higher than that, then both transistor will be now in the saturation, right? Now if both transistor in saturation, and if we consider it as in case 3, then both transistors are in saturation, right? Now you have to just simply equate the relation in the transistor relation for saturation, right? So this is VGSD minus VTHD, that square, this is equal to KL by 2. This is VGSL minus VTNL square, right? Now if you do a little bit simplification, so finally, not finally, in intermediate state you will get something like this, because this is again equal to 0, right? And from this you can still further simplify it, try to find the value of V in for which it will happen, right? And you can see the value of V in, okay, in the for case 3 region is constant. See, V in is only single value, so the value of V in is constant. So that means the Q point will shift in this region, very sharply for a almost no change in the input voltage. So what does that mean? This means in this VTC, if you increase, go beyond this point, right, this curve VTC plot will fall almost like sharply, almost like vertically, huh? It's not a good line like this. It will fall uh, almost vertically, right? So for this value of V in, that you are going to find from here, right? So this is another region. So this region is, this is the region 3 for which both transistors are in the saturation region, right? Okay. Then what will happen? Then again, if you see this plot, then beyond this, okay, beyond this, the driver will now come in the triode region, and this load is still operating in the saturation region. So that in case 4, driver, triode and load will be in the saturation region. So if you solve that, then you will find the region corresponding to this. And there also, probably we will not do that, for the sake of time, right? So if you do that, because it is the same thing, same expression, same thing, you have to write again and again. So, and there obviously you can guess one thing from here itself, that one is in saturation, other one is in the linear region. So the input output characteristics will also be not linear, because one will have that square term, other will have the single, means without square term, right? So the input output between V in and V output is a nonlinear. So again, for this region, you will have to face the you will have the VT input output characteristics as nonlinear. So if you now plot that, so in the VTC, so you will get this plot. So this is yeah, the case 4. Right, case 4. Okay. Now, after that, what will happen? If you are keep on increasing this V in, right, then the V output, see what is happening here. V output is, if you are keep on increasing, if you are keep on increasing this V in, that means you are keep on increasing this part, right? So V output is gradually, from here, then from here, if you have any still further any plot, maybe like, some plot like this, then there will be shift, like from here, from this point to this point. So what is the now change in V output? So this is V output, right? This is V output. What is the change in V output? That is almost negligible, right? Once you have in this region, in the driver comes in the triode region, the change in output is almost negligible. And when you have applied V in equal to VDD, see, then also you will not be able to reach the output at 0 volt, right? Because to have the output equal to 0 volt for this situation, because this characteristics is fixed, right? This characteristics is fixed. So even if you go like, V in equal to VDD, maybe for this case, maybe let me draw it. If you have this, maybe, suppose we are now plotting some characteristics which is equal to here VGS equal to VDD, or V in equal to VDD. So here this will be the output. So the minimum output that is possible from this transistor is this one, which is not equal to 0, right? So I think if you have to then draw the, and I think analytically you should be able to find it, because analytically you can find what is the characteristics for VGS equal to VDD, right? This point and where it will cut, right? And from that point you should be able to find what is the value of this V output. So please do that. Okay, please do that and take it as an homework. How to find the value of this minimum voltage, or VOL dash, right? So if you further go beyond, so it will further go, but it will never reach to this 0 volt, right? So we will have VOL dash, which is not equal to 0, but you have this VOH dash, which is equal to VDD, right? And also we have seen the transition between this, like the transition region, when the both transistors are in saturation, this is like, when both are in saturation and saturation, right? This is very sharp, right? And that is what we want. because you remember the ideal VTC. Ideal VTC is something like this, right? It is on and then suddenly off, right? And we are close to that, but there is still some issue because VOL dash is not equal to 0. Along with that, there are some other issues. For example, see from here, when you suppose if you have applied V in equal to VDD. So when you have applied V in equal to VDD, this transistor is on, right? Like for example, this case, this transistor is on. But what about this transistor? Is this transistor off? No, this transistor is also on and it is conducting, right? Because you can see this transistor is in the using the shown in the green line and that is still conducting, right? So this transistor is not off, but at the same time, this transistor is also on. So when this V input equal to VDD has been applied, so there is a direct path between this power rails. Power rails means the two supply voltages, VDD and ground. So there will be an static power dissipation continuously. So as long as you keep it at this V in equal to 1 state, you are dissipating the power, right? Again, this is not intended because, and I mean, this is not intended, right? Because you don't want the power to be dissipated, right? When you have applied any logic levels, either logic level 0 or logic level 1. See, for logic level 0 input, that is fine because when the logic level is 0, this transistor is off, no static power dissipation. That is fine. But when the logic level is high at the input, then there is a static power dissipation. So again, this adds, you can add it as an demerit along with that, that this V out VOL dash is not equal to 0 for this particular case. Right. Okay. Um, right. So this is case 3. When both transistors are in saturation, I'm just for your homework, I'm just writing it here. For case 4, we have this driver will be in the triode region and load will be still in the saturation region, right? And please take it as a homework, right? And try to find from here what will be the value of VOL dash, right? Okay. Oh, this, just a minute, huh? Okay, so we have seen the how an inverter will look like if you are using this NMOS, I mean if you are implementing the inverter using the depletion load, right? So for that maybe we can just write it here once again, this inverter with depletion load. Inverter with depletion load, right? So this is that load, these two are connected. This is V out. This is the enhancement mode or driver transistors, right? And this is the input, this is the output. So this is the inverter. It's fine, right? But suppose if I ask you, using the same technique, you need to implement the NOR gate. So can you please guide me? What should I do? Using the same technique, I have to make NOR gate. Guys, please.
So the connector NMOS in parallel means as a load from V out itself, another NMOS.
Right. So it is straightforward only, right? So, okay, here there should be a gap, so I should provide that gap as well. So here this portion will be like same, because this is the, see here, this is the pull up network, right? Remember that. So pull up network, there is no input has been connected, right? So that's what, pull up network will be only one. It does not matter like how many input gates you want to make, to input NOR, to input NAND, whatever you can make. So this pull up network will be same, right? Here it is V out, but in the pull down network, this is the pull down network, right? PDN, right? In pull down network, you have now NOR gate. And suppose if I say like we are making this two input, right? Then NOR gate, if we connect to enhancement mode MOSFET like this, then that forms this, hopefully forms this NOR gate, but we need to check it. See, so when a NOR gate means, what will be the truth table for this NOR gate? 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, right? And this is the V out. So NOR gate, please guide, what should I write here? Isn't it?
1.
Right. 1 0 0 0, right? When both inputs are 1, both inputs are 0. See here, when this is 0, this transistor is off. This is 0, this transistor is off. Then both transistors are off. Then V out is been disconnected from the ground. So it can only go and charge. So if you now think about a capacitor connected with this capacitor can only now charge through this. So then the output will become high. So the output is V out is 1, right? Okay. What about in any of this case? Suppose for whenever any transistor is on, for example, this is on or this is on or both are on, then this V output is now connected through this transistor with the ground, right? That means at that point, this transistor will be discharged, right? And the output voltage will become, close to 0. You know that for this case, you will not get exactly 0, but it will be close to 0. So that way you can get this. And so you can verify it that using the same technique, we have made the NOR gate, right? So if I ask you then to implement the NAND gate, 2 input, then I think it should not be a difficulty for you to do that, because it will be the same thing. So instead of making them parallel, it has to be in the series. VDD, this is ground, right? These are the 2 inputs, right? A and B. Because here also you can just verify it. This is the NAND gate. NAND gate means when both inputs are 1 1, then the output expected to be 0. Then you can see when the both inputs are 1 and this is 1, this is 1. So that means this V output is connected with, only then the V output is connected with the ground and the output will become 0. For any other condition, if this is off or this is off, this V output is disconnected with the ground, then the output is expected to be high. Again, when I say 0 means logic 0, it is not actually equal to 0 for this case. Right. So I think this is more or less discussion on this topic, this with a depletion inverter with depletion load, right? And if I ask you, right, the region of operation. So this is the VTC, which we have drawn quite quickly. So, but if I ask you, please write in for, suppose if I say that this is region 1 or case 1, if I write then for region 1, please write the transistor means which transistor in which mode. So in region 1, this driver transistor was in cutoff, right? But the other transistor means the load transistor was in triode region. in this region, driver in the saturation and load in triode. In this region, both are in saturation. In this region, driver in triode and the load is in saturation, right? Okay. So that's all for this. Okay, but before we, yeah, Ganesh, yeah, please.
Sir, wouldn't in case 3 we need to include channel length modulation effect as well, right?
Right. If you include the channel length modulation, then it will not be that we are getting the V input equal to constant. For this case, that condition you will not get there, right? You will get some dependence on V input, right? But intentionally we have not done that, because if we want to do that, then the whole, the everything has to be multiplied with the linear region, means the thing has to be multiplied with 1 plus that VDS as well, right? So that makes the total calculation bit more difficult for hand calculation. So for
Sir,
just for
so
simplicity, we have omitted it.
so in any case, we will not consider the channel length modulation at all, right?
Not like that. If it is explicitly written that consider channel length modulation, then only consider. If it is not written, then no need to consider.
Okay, sir.
Okay, okay. But have you understood one thing from here, that why this particular means you are getting why this sharp transition between this on state and this off state? Why are you getting so sharp? Why in earlier case, always you have seen some slope in this region, right? Why you are not seeing that? See, the reason behind this is the characteristics of this device or the load device is like this. Why? Just think carefully. As the load characteristics is like this only, then now if you see this load curves for this inverter, right? See here, initial Q point is this, right? Then the Q point is this, then the Q point is this, right? And what are the outputs here? Output is VDD, this is close to VDD, this is close to VDD, this is close to VDD, this is also close to VDD, right? Okay. But what will happen after that? Immediately you increase this, V in little bit more, it will shift from here till in this region, right? And this means it is now close to zero, right? So that is the reason, because of these characteristics of this load, you are getting a very sharp transition from this output high side to this output low side, right? And which was not possible for earlier two cases. For example, for resistors, right, you have a load line like this, right? So obviously it is changing from here like type of like it is changing like this, right? Okay. For example, in case of enhancement load, it is relatively better because you have a plot which is type of non-linear like this, right? So you have a better transition there. But for this case, you see as the plot characteristics are like this, right? So after this, immediately you are jumping from here to the normally off, means this output high state to this output lower state. Remember always that this is VDS for this transistor, which is also equal to the VDS, or so also equal to the V output. Fine. Okay. So any question here? Okay, if not, fine, thank you. So we'll do one thing. We'll just take a small break, like 3 minutes maybe. We'll like drink some water or something like this, right? And we'll come back. So I will stop recording this video. We'll start recording the next one when we'll come back. So we'll take in 2-3 minutes break and come back. Huh?